What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited, but you're listening, so I guess they are solicited. All right, and I'm back. Been gone for a while, been on a brief hiatus, but I am back, and we're gonna jump into this thing. I got my special guest with me, Jake Wade. Son, what's the business?
Thanks for having me on again today.
No doubt, no doubt. Like I said, I've been on a bit of a hiatus. I'm recording. I'm coming to you live from my new studio here in Peachtree City, Georgia. So I had to get everything kind of set up. I've been moving, transitioning, things of that nature. So I'm sorry that I had to stay away for so long. I know you guys been hitting me up wanting to get some new content. So damn it, here it is. So all right. So get all that out of the way. Now let's kick the bucket. All right, kick the ballistics. Here we go again, kicking the ballistics, the aphoristics.
So let's go ahead and die on the podcast.
Do what?
You say kick the bucket at first.
Oh,
Kick the bucket and die.
I meant to say kick the ballistics. See, I've been gone for a while, man, so chill. All right, so yeah, we're going to kick the ballistics. Kick the aphoristics. You remember the afros, kicking aphoristics? Actually,
I'm a big fan, but I remember.
Yeah, they were a novelty act or whatever, man. So they only did one album, but I did buy that one album, and I was just listening to them recently, as a matter of fact. So kicking aphoristics is kind of stuck on my brain. So if you ever get a chance to listen to the Afros, give them a listen. The album was decent. It wasn't great, but it had a couple nice cuts on it. So the production was pretty strong. I think Jam Master Jay did that, didn't he?
I really don't know.
Yeah, I think Jam Master Jay was the one that produced the Afros, at least got them their record deal and all that kind of stuff. He was prominently involved as an executive producer or producer. I know Hurricane. You know who Hurricane is, right?
Yeah, Mr. Burns, DJ.
Yeah, Hurricane was one of the Afros. So,
Oh,
yeah, so you see, there you go. So you didn't know that, did you?
I don't think I did, because, you're right, the novelty, It's not like, oh, yeah, man, I started up in the Afros and all about that. No.
But yeah, so Hurricane was actually one of the lead rappers. So yeah, give it a shot sometime, man. And listen to it from a different angle. Yeah, Hurricane was.
I remember I had that tape, and I had it, and I didn't listen to it. Now I don't have it, so.
Oh, it's on Spotify, so check them out.
Yeah.
All right, that being said, once again, we are digressing, so we're going to steer it back and get back on track here. And today we're going to do a review of Public Enemy. Yo, Bum Rush the Show. Now, Public Enemy. If you don't know who Public Enemy is, you might want to turn this off right now because this will do nothing for you. Public Enemy, most likely, is one of the greatest hip-hop groups to ever grace the face of this earth. They are in the stratosphere with some of the greatest hip-hop crews of all time. Yes, I just said it. They are absolutely, positively in the stratosphere. They're up there, with the likes of, Run DMC, NWA, Wu-Tang, Beastie Boys. They're up there, in the upper echelon. And if you ask me, I would probably say Public Enemy is probably the second greatest hip hop crew ever. What you say?
I got it.
Huh?
You got it.
I got it. Okay, I nailed it.
Yep, that's exactly true.
All
Number
right.
2.
And Public Enemy, they actually come out of New York, same as Wu-Tang. I think Public Enemy, they originated out of Long Island, and Wu-Tang originated out of Staten Island, right?
Yep.
Okay, so L.I. and S.I. There you go. So if you're on the island, that's the cradle of hip hop is S.I. and L.I. So you got you had Staten Island, Long Island, obviously at the Bronx. That was with the Juice Crew, not Juice Crew, but Boogie Down Productions. Where was the Juice Crew from? Were they the Bronx as well?
I think they were.
They were.
I think so.
Okay.
Queens, whatever.
Queens, yeah. So because Run DMC was out of Queens.
Alright.
Yeah. Because Run DMC, LL Cool J, the Def Jam contingent was out of Queens, the Queens area, and the Juice Crew Bronx, South Bronx, in that area. Anyways, New York, which is obviously the heartbeat, the nerve center of hip hop. So if you know hip hop and you love hip hop, then damn it, your love originated out of that area, no doubt. All right. So that being said, we're going to take a look at Yo Bum Rush the Show, which is Public Enemy's debut album. It was released February 10th, 1987, and they were actually signed to Def Jam. So that means that Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin were probably prominently involved in this recording. You got anything to add to that?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So yeah, I think back in '87, Russell and Rick had their hands on everything. Am I correct in that assessment? Hello.
Hello?
I say, am I correct in that assessment?
Oh, yeah. You cut out a bit. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh yeah, my question was back in '87. If you were signed to Def Jam, Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin probably had their hands all over it. And I said, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. They were basically the ones controlling hip hop. Like, if they were essentially you have like, I would say like, the people controlling hip hop right now are like Jay-Z and Kanye and whatever. You have these big names that come out and everybody knows, immediately. Like Tidal, if you have Tidal, you get alerted about new music as soon as it happens. It's not exactly the same as production, but it's like Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin. So essentially, if they went back in time, this was like the new mainstream hip hop. So they were the ones controlling it. You weren't hearing like the underground people. You were hearing like this is the best, and it's coming from them. So yeah, they were the controllers of it.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Rick Rubin, if you're not familiar with him, he's actually a white guy. So
Big beard.
yeah, with the big beard. That's right. That's right. So yeah, he was very prominent. Obviously, he and Russell Simmons founded Def Jam together and basically put hip hop music on the map. God only knows where hip hop would be if those two guys hadn't come together. So they're basically the gods of hip hop, if nothing else. They are the alpha and the omega when it comes to the creation of hip hop, as you now know it. And I'm not. That's no hyperbole. That is absolute fact. You agree?
Yeah, at least in the not the creation, like it did not originate with them, but as far as making it into what it is today, yeah, they're the ones.
They are the genesis. They're the ones who took hip hop out of the streets, out of the park, out of the basement, out of the clubs, and brought it to the entire world. Fuck Rappers Delight. I mean, that was more of a novelty type act anyway. But I mean, as far as making hip hop a viable medium that the whole world had to take notice of, these guys are the reason for that happening. Because you got to think about it. I mean, they gave us Run DMC. Because before then, hip hop was more of an offshoot of disco. It wasn't a genre unto itself. Because if you think about it, like for example, Rapper's Delight, which everybody kind of thinks like the first major hip hop rap hit or whatever, was an offshoot of disco. It came out during the disco era, and if you remember the video, folks are dancing in the hip hop and not hip hop in the disco outfits with the disco ball and the whole nine, right?
Yeah, and they're rapping over good times.
Yeah, over good times. That's right. Absolutely. So like I said, Rick and Russell and that whole crew, they're the ones who actually took hip hop to a level where you got original beats, you got the DJ, you got the they turned into this cohesive sound that now has spawned, has become what it is today. So yeah, obviously this show is not about Rick Rubin and Def Jam and Russell Simmons, but from a context standpoint, and especially when you consider Public Enemy, they are definitely linked throughout the annals of hip hop history and time. So, that being said, Yo Bum and Rusty Show, like I said, it was released in February of 1987 by Def Jam, and I think it was distributed by Columbia Records. And Yo Bum Rusty Show was not a major hit, but it sold very well. So it was not embraced by radio, obviously, but the underground got a hold of it, and it definitely made an impact on the music, the underground music scene, and it helped to push hip hop in a more compassionate direction, a more militant direction, a more focused direction, a more involved direction as well. So, you got anything to say on that before I move on?
Yeah, so like if you're like me and you were younger when it came out, and you got in Public Enemy slightly later, I wouldn't have known that this was even like an album that existed. You know, it wasn't the thing that actually propelled them to the spotlight as superstars. This was just, you know, the introduction to the world. So like I said, I didn't even know this was an album for years. I didn't know anything about it until about like '94, and that's when I heard it. So you know, this wasn't like the super breakthrough that they needed at the time. This is just, hey, this is PE, they're a great group, pay attention to them. So yeah, it's a good album, of course, but much bigger things would happen after this.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. And my introduction to Public Enemy, I remember exactly where it was, and how it happened. So I'll tell that story real quick before we jump into the review. I bought this album in September of 1987. I just gotten out of high school. I was in the military. I just finished basic training, and I was at my tech school, which was in Rantoul, Illinois. So shout out to Rantoul, Illinois. If anybody out there is listening from Rantoul, what up? So I was in tech school, and at that point, that's right after basic training. So and when you go to tech school, it's not as rigid as basic training where you know yes or no sir, you can't do anything, all that kind of stuff. You get a little bit more freedom. So I met up with this guy. He was actually from New York. So he was a pal of mine. He actually had he had a car. He had his car there with him, and he gave me a ride out to a local mall, and of course, me being the music lover that I am, first thing I wanted to do was get to a record store because once again I just got out of basic training. I wanted to get to a record store and get as much music as I could because I bought myself a boombox and I wanted to get as much music as I could. And, obviously, after being sequestered in basic training for so long, I was just itching to get anything. So, anyways, we go to the mall and I bought like a bunch of shit. I mean, I was just grabbing up, tapes, cassette tapes back then. And it was stuff I never heard of. I was like, I just, if it was hip hop or whatever or something. Look, I like the album cover. Fucking, I'm grabbing it. And one of those cassettes that I grabbed was Yo Bum Rush the Show. I had never heard of Public Enemy before or anything. Didn't know anything about it. That day I bought a lot of stuff. I bought Schoolie D, Saturday Night the album. You remember that one?
Oh
yeah. I bought Schoolie D. I bought Heavy D's first album. I bought, of course, Yo Bum Rush the Show. I got Criminal Minded. You've Been Blinded. Looking for a Style Like Mine. You Can't Find It. What else did I get? I got Kool Moe Dee. Go See the Doctor. And some other stuff. I think that as far as hip hop goes, I think that was. Oh, I also got what was his name? The guy that did Take It Off. What was it? Spoonie G. I got Spoonie G's album, and I bought some other stuff too, so like some pop and all this kind of stuff, whatever. But as far as the hip hop goes, I think those are the ones that I bought on that trip to the mall. And I just remember getting back to my room and just going through stuff, just popping stuff in, and just kind of trying to get as much information and get as much music up as I could. And I remember putting in Yo Bum Rush the Show, and you know, that first track just smashed me, and I think the first track, I will talk about that once we get into review. But the first track just grabbed me, and I wound up listening to the entire album. And I'm like, damn, what have I walked into? And I was hooked from that point on. So anyway, that was my introduction to Yo Bum Rush the Show. So you want to talk about your introduction before we start on the review?
Yeah. So like I said, I was pretty young when this came out. I was 7 years old, maybe 6. What was the month that came out?
It came. So what?
What was the month?
February.
Yeah, February '87. So I was 7 at the time. So I didn't know anything about it. I didn't hear about this album at all until like '94, after the fifth album, Music in Our Message. So I was really late to show on that. I just happened upon it, and when I listened to it, I was like, how did I miss this? And of course I missed it because I was young, and the Public Enemy that was popular when I became aware of them was Fear the Black Planet. So it was a different sound, and it was a different Public Enemy. It wasn't they weren't the exact same group. They were actually less militant, it seemed, but at the same time they were fully formed, and it didn't sound like there were any kind of growing pains or missteps or anything like that. And it was a very familiar sound with the same drumming beats and the samples and Terminator X and everything. It was kind of like this was my lost Public Enemy album, and I was really excited to rediscover it. So yeah, I have a lot to say about this record.
Oh, right on, right on. And as far as this album goes, back in the day or whatever, right, when this first came out and everything, folks weren't talking about it. I mean, you were hearing, obviously it wasn't on the radio, and like I said, folks just wasn't talking about it at all. So it was definitely a situation where you hear it and you gotta say, hey, you gotta listen to this. You had to get the word out that way, because like I said, it wasn't in the clubs, it wasn't on the radio, and you definitely had to seek it out to really kind of get up on it. And thankfully, a lot of folks did, because it spawned something great. And so, anyways, all right. That being said, well, once again, we're doing a review. So the way we do our reviews here at What Lonzo Thinks is we'll give just a brief snapshot opinion of each song, and then we'll kind of sum it up at the very end. And that's how we'll do it with this one as well. So starting off, track number 1 of Yo Bum Rush the Show is "You're Gonna Get Yours." And like I said, this song grabbed me from the very beginning. And the thing I remember and like most about this particular record is I love the hook. My 98 Oldsmobile's like... I just thought that was so original. I don't know. It's just... And Chuck D's voice is just so dynamic. I mean, it just grabs you. His voice, he has one of the most forceful voices in hip-hop history. And the beats and when it comes to the production, the production is tight, but at the same time it's loose, if that makes any sense. Because it's the beats are spare. It's not overproduced. You'll never confuse this with an overproduced track. And it sounds to me like, they laid the track. Now, I mean, they put the beat together and said, hey, Chuck, go do your thing, and they really didn't. This is my takeaway. I can't verify any of this, but I think it's more of a situation where there was like, I wouldn't be surprised if most of these songs were done in 1 or 2 takes. It just feels organic. It feels like it's just these guys, laying down their tracks and say, okay, now next, and we know it's hot, and we ain't got to go back and tweak it and do all this shit to it, And that's what I get from "You're Gonna Get Yours." That's one of the things that really impressed me about it, is that the song feels raw and loose, but at the same time, the production is tight and consistent. So, like I said, if I'm making any sense, great. If I'm not making sense, fuck it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of the songs on here were done kind of in a one-take fashion, but you can tell that a lot of them actually attack the samples, not nearly as many as subsequent Public Enemy albums, but there are a lot of samples on this record, and that's one thing that they're known for, like Bomb Squad and Terminator X. They're all known for kind of making tracks out of thousands of samples and making them kind of like their own. You know, they're not immediately noticeable or recognizable, but they are indeed samples made into their own tracks. And I think, yeah, they sound spare, and for what's on this record, they're much fewer, but at the same time, they're there. And if you're someone who just pays a whole lot of attention to that kind of stuff, you're like, oh, that's a sample, I didn't realize that. So there's a lot going on here, but it still sounds very fast and loose and not as packed as you would expect if you come later in the game. But this track in particular is an amazing way to start the album. You know, I think the beat is just awesome with that irresistible guitar sample in it. And you get your first taste of Terminator X's DJing skill. And the production style, Bomb Squad, is right there front and center. And it's an introduction to the group, basically, in my opinion. And yeah, you said it about Chuck's rhymes. Very forceful, very powerful. That's my favorite thing about him, is that it's kind of I've said it before, like a punch you in the gut voice. Like, immediately, that's the thing that gets you. The beats don't get you, the rhymes are going to get you. And that's definitely what this track does at first. And he's, on this track, he's basically extolling the virtues of his 98 Oldsmobile. You know, its style and its speed and the booming system. It's a hard driving track, and you know, I love it. So this is a great way to start the album.
Oh, absolutely. And to me, correct me if I'm wrong here, when it comes to the music and the sampling is really not noticeable unless you're looking for it. You really not, you know, unless you're really deep in the music, you're not going to catch a lot of the samples. And to me, it feels like you got boom bap with samples, you know, and it's a perfect blend of boom bap and samples, and that's what I take away from it. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's, you know, I think the worst thing about sampling is that some people take it too far. Like, they use a lot of samples, you know exactly what they are. Like, oh, this is a sample. It's not even original. It's like people who take somebody else's song and call that a sample, and they do something else over it. Oh, it's a sample. Like Puff Daddy is known for doing, you know?
Right.
You know, like a lot of people are known for doing. And that's what sampling had become. But in this stage, and what Bomb Squad did in the earlier years, is we're going to sample something, but you're not going to listen to it and be like, oh, that's good times. From, you know, that's not at all what you get from Public Enemy. And that's what I love about that production.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely feel the same, man. And like I said, it's a great introduction to what's to come on this record and subsequent albums as well. So great track, magnificent track. All right, next up is Sophisticated Bitch, and of course I love this song as well. And what sticks out to me most about this particular record is the guitar. I think Vernon Reid laid down this guitar track, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, it has a hard driving guitar riff that just measures the song all the way through, and Chuck's vocals perfectly match the guitar lick, and the production on this song is airtight. And once again, and when it comes to Chuck's lyrics, I mean, you know, obviously he's talking about a girl that I guess kind of goes a little bit too far, you know, putting up, I guess, putting up fronts, and gets herself into a position where she has to pay a price. That's my takeaway from the song. And I mean, it's a pure hip hop song. You know, he's telling the story, and, you know, and at the same time, you got this, you know, this tremendous guitar lick and this tremendous beat with his masterful voice. And to me, it's a damn near perfect song. What you say?
Okay, yeah. So Sophisticated. This is a personal favorite of mine. I absolutely love this track. I repeat it a lot when I listen to it. Um, the guitar line is actually from Groove Line by Heatwave. It is actually played on the track, but that's what it is.
Oh, that's from Groove Line, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, but that's not a sample though.
It's not a sample.
Okay. Okay.
So, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it took me a while to even realize that's what it was. It's like, oh, that's what that is. So let's start again. You'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the track is a rare example of Chuck D using the B word and the word her to describe a woman. I don't think that that there's any other instance of this in the career of Public Enemy. I could be wrong, but I can't think of any situation where he uses that word for a woman. So, because yeah, like you said, the track is actually about, you know, kind of like a stuck-up woman.
Right.
Who sophisticated, educated men with money, and she's mean, and she steals money, and she manipulates guys, and she's trying to finance her extravagant life. You know, I know lots of people like this actually, and I think it's a pretty cool story, and I think it's funny. I actually think it's hilarious, to be honest, and the end of it is actually pretty funny too. But anyway, I like it. I think it's a very, very wonderful track. Definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and like I said, it's the production is just airtight, airtight. So, great song. All right, and next up is My Uzi Weighs a Ton. All right, and this is a great follow up to Sophisticated Bitch. And this particular track is not one of my, is not my, it's probably my least favorite track, I think, or one of my least favorite tracks. But that don't mean it's not good. Uzi Weighs a Ton. It's to me is something that's kind of outside of what Public Enemy is all about. But at the same time, it's speaking towards their I guess their revolutionary type of a persona that you know that the group is really kind of based on anyway. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty nice track for what it is. The title fits the track perfectly, but because the drums weigh a ton, those really, really heavy beats remind me of like Eric B. and Rakim's My Melody, but it's twice as hard as that. You know, maybe not as impressive in general, but those beats remind me of that very much, like very, very hard. So My Uzi Weighs a Ton. That really fits it perfectly to me. And Chuck's rhymes on this one are basically him establishing himself as a supreme MC. So that's really what he's doing on the track. It's not there's not really a whole lot you can take from it as far as what he's saying. You know, it's not a really quotable track, but it's good for what it is, certainly. So I like it, and it's not something that I would skip. It is a really good track.
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely not a skip track, you know, but of all the tracks on the record, this is one that you know. If I had to say is a song you can skip, this would be the one that you can. But once again, it does not take away from the quality of the song or anything, or quality of Chuck's lyrics or anything like that. All right, next up is Time Bomb. Now I really like Time Bomb, and with Time Bomb, to me, is more of a Terminator X song than anything else. For some reason, this is the song that really kind of made me take notice of Terminator X. For some reason, I don't know why. It just did. It just does, or whatever. But this particular track, man, once again, this is one of the tracks where I can't listen to it. I can't listen to it twice. I gotta listen to it 3-4 times. I don't know. It's something about this record that just kind of drives me. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very kind of a groovy sounding song to me. It's got a cool guitar sample, and you know, yeah, the Terminator X's beats are pretty awesome. Chuck's rides the beat very perfectly, you know, and it's simpler than what came before it, and it doesn't do a whole lot compared to the last three, but it's no less potent. And yeah, it's one of those tracks that I will listen to at least twice. I really, really like it. It's great.
All right, and next up is Too Much Posse. All right, Flavor Flav song. You know, I think on every record, Flavor has at least one song where he kind of gets a chance to do his thing or whatever. And one thing about Flav, on this particular record, Flav was not really Flav to me. I mean, he wasn't, you know, the clown type Flav. You know, that kind of came out more on the next record. Where on this record, man, Flav was more, you know, he was more, he wasn't the antithesis of Chuck as he is on future recordings. So this record really fits because usually Flav's tracks kind of, you know, are kind of like outliers to me when it comes to the cohesive Public Enemy record. You know, the Flav songs are generally, you know, on the outside looking in. They kind of take you to a different place. They fit the narrative, but they kind of take you to a different place because it's kind of like a respite to me. On subsequent albums, the Flav songs are, you know, kind of a respite from the heavy hitting stuff that Chuck's talking about. But on Too Much Posse, it didn't feel that way. The song really kind of fits right into that same narrative, if that makes any sense. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't a clown novelty type Flav song. So in that regard, I really like Too Much Posse.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean? You okay? What?
Okay. This is a Flav solo track. Is, you know, every PE album has at least one of them. To me, they're all like hit or miss. You know, some of them are like, some of them are really good, some of them are great, and some of them are horrible. And that's because like Flav wasn't a great rapper. He never has been. And you know, since Chuck called him the Joker, you know, like the clown, the jester. You know, like you said, he basically is the antithesis to Chuck, and you know, breaks up the seriousness of the tracks. You're right. On this one, he doesn't really do that so much. He's just a member of the group for the most part, and it's tolerable. And the track is pretty minimal. Doesn't have a whole lot going on, and Flav's delivery on it isn't bad on it. But as I'll say later in the record, his delivery is hit or miss usually. It's alright. I personally, I think it's the least essential track on the record. But, you know, it's not bad, certainly. It's just, I have a love-hate relationship with the Flav tracks. I like Flav as a member of the group. His solo tracks are questionable. So, this is one that's not so bad. It's alright.
Tell us how you really feel, man.
I will say a lot more later.
Alright, man. Damn, bro. Man, leave Flav alone. Flav ain't did nothing to you, man.
No, you know, it's not like I'm saying, oh man, Flavor Flav sucks. I'm not saying that at all, but you know, he certainly does do his job, and I like him on tracks with Chuck. Like when he's on the track with Chuck at the same time, and especially when they're trading rhymes, yeah, it's awesome. But his solo tracks go in a different place. You're right. They're outliers. They're certainly not. They don't break up the flow of the album as in, wow, this sounds like some. But at the same time, they're like, they just have to be here. You know, did you need this? And Too Much Posse is not one of them, but there are some. There are some. We'll get to it.
All right, man, but you know what? You can say the exact same shit about ODB.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew ODB was going to say
that. Dude, you waiting on that one, man.
I knew it. I absolutely knew it because, you know, I'm going to say it. You're right. You're right. You can't say it about ODB. Not to the same extent of Flavor Flav, but you're right. You know, when ODB had a solo track, usually it was an outlier. It was usually a little different from everything else. It certainly, you know, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of one track in particular from Wu-Tang Forever.
And what track is that?
Dog.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You nailed it. Yeah.
It's one of the best tracks on that record. But it certainly is a different flow, a different personality. Like it feels like it should have been on something else, but it was on that record.
Dog shit does not fit in anywhere on Forever at all.
It really doesn't. But as far as an amazing, like the humor is weird, but that beat is fantastic. I love that. And he's the only person who could have really ripped that track up. I don't think anybody else. It was made for him. So with it being on the album, we probably wouldn't have gotten it anywhere else, and I love it. So I don't think there are any Flavor Flav solo tracks that you can say that about, except for maybe 911's a Joke, or like Cold Lamp with Flavor. I can't think of a whole lot where the album would be the same without his solo track.
Well, you want to know what my favorite Flav track is?
What's that?
Yeah, you know, you probably gonna nut up on me. My favorite Flav track is "What Kind of Power We Got."
No, that's fine. That's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that one, to be honest.
Oh, really?
No. I can think of some that really I like. There are a few. I'm trying to think of one that really sticks out to me.
Shake Your Booty?
Huh?
Shake Your Booty?
Oh, crap. Hey, man, let's not talk about that.
Oh, let me just cut you off for a second there. Okay, let me talk about Shake Your Booty for just a second. Okay, say Shake Your Booty. I mean, it is what it is, man. But to hear Chuck come on and say that and say the chorus, man, that shit is just, you talk about something that's a shock.
Yeah, I think he was just into it. Like, I'm glad he supports him. That's kind of
Man, that song sounds so damn fake, man. With Chuck, it's like Chuck probably did. Okay, I'll do it finally. Okay, I'm tired y'all fucking with me. I'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah, and honestly, Chuck D doesn't sound like he's having a
What?
good time on the track. We just having fun.
Hey, I'm losing your audio, man. Are you there? Hey.
Hello?
Yeah, I was losing your audio there for a second. Can you hear me okay?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't pick up anything you said. I got a lot of feedback or noise or whatever. It was kind of distorted, so.
I don't know why. Anyway, okay. So I guess I'll cut that out or something. What I was saying was, Chuck doesn't sound like he's having fun on his tracks most of the time.
No, he doesn't. You're right.
So I think that was an instance of him actually having a good time. Yeah, it sounded fake, but maybe he was enjoying himself. Sometimes he does sound like I'm actually happy. Most of the time he sounds like I have a mission.
Well, you said it yourself. You said DMX always talking about I'm never happy. I'm never happy.
Yeah.
Well, that's Chuck.
I like that. Right. DMX sounds mean. Chuck sounds like I have a job to do. So he doesn't sound like he's having a good time. But in that instance, sometimes when he's afraid, he sounds like he's having a good time. It's just the track might end up being questionable. Crap. Is it Letter to New York Post? I'm trying to think. Did he do that solo? Slave? I can't think. I like that one.
I don't remember. I gotta go back and listen to it.
I'm drawing a blank, but there's some that really can't do nothing for you.
Can't do nothing for you, man?
Yeah, that is one of the least essential Public Enemy tracks, and one of Flav's worst solos. I think that is an example of something we didn't need. Didn't do anything for the record itself, and there are a lot of those. Really, there are.
Right on, man. Leave Flav alone, like I said. Anyway.
I think he was absolutely essential to the group. I think without him, it wouldn't be the same.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying anything about him in particular, but when he's solo, you never know what you're gonna get.
Very true. Very true. And just kind of wrap things up on Flavor, whatever. For Public Enemy to be such a serious group that has this political message, this black, empowerment message, trying to really get a message out to the world, that to have the persona that they have, this militant persona, and to have somebody like Flavor Flav in the group, man, it just it's kind of mind boggling. I never quite understood it. I get it, but I never quite understood it. So.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it either, except if you think about it logically. If Public Enemy were Chuck and Terminator and freaking Professor Griff, if you've ever listened to him talk, I actually hate Professor Griff. I really do. He's just, he seems like a terrible, horrible, mean person. If it were just those guys without Flav, I don't think anybody would like this group because, they're just serious all the time, and it's just, just all that non-humor, all that just, hey, we're not playing around ever. We're not happy. We're not having a good time doing our jobs. I don't think nobody would like him, but with Flav, that makes people pay attention. That's kind of like your gateway into the group. Yeah. You see the dude with the big hat and the giant clock around his neck acting like a fool. That makes you pay attention to him. And then you get the real message and realize, this is what they're about. You can stick around. So I think that is what Flav brings to the group. That's why he's important to it. And even he, drops jewels on occasion. Probably fed from Chuck, but still, he does it. So he's certainly not dispensable. I think he's absolutely vital. But at the same time, some questionable things happen.
Well, I think that Flav's inclusion in the group, his presence in the group, made Public Enemy more palatable to white people. Okay, it made them more radio friendly. It made them more, it gave them exposure as far as television goes because, you got something that makes white people feel okay. Well, you know how it is, man. You got this serious black group or whatever, or you can look at it, not just in the context of music, but just the context of society in itself. White folks always got to have that, that one Uncle Tom ass nigga, that they can kind of rub his head, and make them feel more comfortable, and I'm not saying that Flav is an Uncle Tom because he's not, but I think his presence put the white consumer, the white music consumer at ease. Otherwise, nobody, would ever listen to Public Enemy outside of the black community.
You're right. Yeah. That's very true. And I think that was kind of the goal. And when people talk about Public Enemy to this day, if you talk to a white person, I think if you talk to a white person about Public Enemy, the first thing they'll mention is Flavor Flav.
Well, first of all, why would you be talking to a white person about Public Enemy in the first place?
Well, because the majority of Public Enemy fans these days are white.
But not because of Flavor Flav. If you're talking about through a prism of 2019, then yeah. But if you're talking through a prism of 1987, 1988, then it's a whole different conversation.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have been having this conversation in 87 or 88.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
I wouldn't have. Maybe you, but I wouldn't have. So, if we're talking about me talking to anybody about Public Enemy, the average black person is not going to talk to me about Public Enemy. For white people, yes, I can find white women who will talk to me about Public Enemy. So.
But I think that's a result of the progressiveness of our society in itself, especially when it comes to white folks being a little bit more in tune, because you got a whole generation out there now to where hip hop is not noise to them. It's not something that's foreign, that's relegated to the black community, to the clubs, whatever. It's something that is mainstream now. So now. You can be a black group talking about basically anything, and white folks be okay with it. But back in 1987, that wasn't the case. Because really, when it comes to white folks, hip hop was really, Run DMC made it palatable. Obviously, Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, you know, but it was still, a huge swath of, of American society outside of the black community. They didn't give a shit about hip hop, thought it was noise, they didn't have no time for it. Then you got Public Enemy coming along with their militant black empowerment, but they got, once again, they got the court jester. They say, "Oh, okay, well, we can listen to this. Look at this fool." you know, Okay, now we can let little Johnny listen to this because you got this fool. You know,
Right.
Whatever. So
I think that was the purpose, though. I really think that was the whole purpose of him being there the first time.
yeah, and if that's the case, then I mean, there's a yay and a nay to that. You know what I mean? Obviously I get it, but at the same time, Flay, come on, man, down. Where your self pride at? And come on,
As we're saying in later years, with the flavor of love and all that crap, you don't really have a whole lot of it.
yeah, you got a point. But okay, we totally digressed on Flay, but I think that was a important conversation to have. So
I think I'll get back into him later.
yeah, I got that feeling. All right, so next up we got Right Starter, Message to the Black Man, Mind Over Matter. This particular song, this is the one that kind of let me know, hey, these guys are on some different shit, because this is obviously, of all the tracks on the record up to now, this is one that's the most militant, the one that's saying, hey, now we got some shit to say that's outside of straight hip hop, and here we go. You know what I mean? And that, and this song is very powerful, and I love it a lot.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the last track, of course, the Flave track, faltered a little bit, but this one comes right back. You skip that one, then you didn't miss a beat. It's danceable, and it's got like these bouncy 808s in it, and it's got Terminator X's awesome scratches and its samples. It's all very deceptive though, because this track is powerful. Like the first verse spells out its power really. You got Chuck basically saying, "I'm dancing to the track, but I'm about to preach and kick knowledge. And I'm going to put you in your place." So the track is basically about him urging black men to straighten up, think, stop hurting each other, and stop sending people to jail and hell. Uplift people. This is a powerful, amazing track. I love Right Starter. Like, you can listen to this over and over again and never get tired of it. It's awesome.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. And that brings us to the next track. This brings us to one of the greatest hip hop songs ever made, and it's in the upper echelon of the greatest hip hop beats to ever grace the face of this planet. And I'm talking about Public Enemy Number One. Man, this beat is beyond magnificent. This is excellent. The beat for this song is damn near perfection. And this is Public Enemy sound. Every group has a sound. Public Enemy Number One is their sound. Can't nobody fuck with that sound. Puff Daddy tried it and failed miserably. Can't nobody fuck with that particular sound. That record is if you've never heard Public Enemy Number One, listen to it right now. Stop listening to us talk. Go listen to it right now, and then come back and listen to the rest of this podcast, because this is one of the greatest hip hop songs ever made. And Chuck's vocals on this record are second to none. Second to none. And this record basically tells you what the group is all about. All about. The production is air fucking tight. I love this song. It is in my pantheon of greatest hip hop songs ever. And if you've never heard Public Enemy Number One, then you should never listen to hip hop. This is a perfect song. One of the most perfect songs ever made. Go ahead.
Yeah, you basically said it. You basically said everything I needed to say. It's got that famous intro. What goes on? Well, so, that's been sampled so many times. Everybody knows what that is.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the earlier tracks, Malaysia Ways a Ton, sounds like a trial run for this one. And Public Enemy Number One is like the perfected version of that track, and because you got the same type of heavy beats, but you got this persistent buzzy rhythm, and you got Chuck asserting his dominance all over the track, and like if you don't believe him this time, you have a problem. Like this is basically MC history being made on a track. So yeah, this is the Public Enemy sound in its first form, going on to make a perfected form later in life. Like this is the beginning of the group, basically. It took a little while to get to it on the album, but when you get here, you're like, all right, I think I'm a fan forever. This is number one.
Oh, absolutely. And you've seen The Matrix, Kevin, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's his name? Neo takes the red pill, and he wakes up. That's this song. The placement of this song is like the red pill of this album, because if one of your eyes was open, one of your eyes was closed, once you get to this track, both eyes are open. It wakes you the fuck up, and it tells you all you need to know about this group. And I think the placement of this song is absolutely perfect. It's perfect where it is, because with the track being titled "Public Enemy Number One," you would think it would be the opening track, but no, they put it dead smack in the middle of this record. I think that's on purpose. That's on purpose, and because obviously the opening tracks indoctrinate you into this group. You're grooving a little bit. You get to hear Flavor's voice. You get to hear all the tentacles of this group. Okay, and then really, Public Enemy Number One is really just Flav and Chuck, and the beat is so spare, but at the same time it's heavy. You know what I mean? Because you got that, I don't know what sound that is, just that buzz. It might make you think that something, something wrong with your record. There's something wrong with your radio. Man, you want to smack your radio on the side. What's wrong with it? Because you got, it's just this, the beat is just so fucking magnificent, man. And that's, what sound, I don't know what sound that is, man. Whatever sound that is, man, it just takes, yeah, that buzz. And like I said before, Puff tried to bring this song, tried to do a remake of this, and it was absolutely awful. I mean, and that just proves to you in hip hop there's some things you just can't touch. And this is a song that nobody should ever lay their dick beaters on, other than Chuck D and Flav and Terminator X and the crew.
And nobody else but Puff Daddy tried it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that was one of Puff Daddy's that was part of his downfall. Like he was at his pinnacle, and then from there, people started talking about it.
Yeah, because really, man, that song really is an embarrassment.
It was. And the video was embarrassing, too.
Yeah.
I remember it had, some kind of breakdown where he's dancing to Planet Rock. I'm like, what does this have to do with the track? You're wasting time. Who told you that this was a good idea?
Exactly. Nobody. See, that kind of shows you where his ego was at the time. His ego was so freaking inflated, he thought he could actually do this and pull it off. And I think this really humbled him and showed him, man, you just rich. That's it. Okay?
Thank God nobody's ever tried it again.
And nobody ever should. I don't care who it is. Nobody should ever try to fuck with that beat. Ever. Ever. And if you do, you'll wind up just like Puff.
Except, I think it's wrong for me to say this is like his downfall, because he continued to make hits, but his pinnacle in the late 90s, like I said, was his pinnacle. So I don't think he's ever come back to that level. And that remake was the beginning of the end for him, because that was really, really garbage. This was after he tried to do the Godzilla song,
Yeah.
Where he basically remade a Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
Who told him that was a good idea? He had really gotten too far ahead of himself, and I hope people were like, hey, we're done with you now, because that was horrible. This is not Puff Daddy at all. We shouldn't be talking about him. I don't like talking about that guy.
You know what? I've never heard the Puff Daddy version all the way through. I saw the video once, and I turned it off probably maybe a minute into it. I was like, man, fuck this.
I watched the video when it first came out, and and I haven't seen it or heard it since. I'm not sure they even played it.
Nah, yeah, it's not you don't hear this song on the radio, any throwback channels or anything. You won't ever hear this song played anywhere, and I think that's for a reason. I wonder what Chuck said when he heard this. I mean, why they let him do it? Why they give him permission to do it?
When you heard it, give me my money, because that was really all it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he like, oh, dude, you made a dope version of my song. Thank you. He didn't do that.
But instead, they let him bastardize, one of their signature songs.
He's not going to tell Puff Daddy, hey, you can't do this.
To what?
He's not going to do that. He's not going to say, hey, you can't do this. Sorry.
Why not?
Because Puff Daddy was one of the most powerful people in hip hop at the time. You think Chuck D was really going to put a word in between them like that?
I mean, Chuck D don't need him. I mean,
no, he don't need him, but I mean, he's also not somebody who tries to put barriers in between people in the group, in the game. So I don't think he would be like, sorry, can't do this.
I don't know. Chuck, if you're listening, call in and let us know what you was thinking about this. What moved you to?
Please.
Yeah, Chuck, hit us up, man. And if you're listening, first of all, why would you be listening? But if you are, give me a call, man. I need to know. Thank you for listening. If you are listening, Chuck.
Well, Chuck D's listening. It's amazing.
Well. Well, here you go. All right. Okay, next up is MPE, which feels like a freestyle to me. MPE is lyricism at its best. This is Chuck just kind of just doing his thing. It's a nondescript song, but it definitely fits. It's a good follow up to Public Enemy #1, in my opinion. What you think?
Yeah, it's just more banging beats and samples. That's really all it is, and it's all you need. You got
There's no samples on this.
Well, samples as in obviously nobody's playing like instruments on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's Chuck's voice, and the production's very minimal, and he's just rhyming over it. And this time you got Flav rhyming with him, and obviously he's whacking, compared to Chuck. But this time his rhymes and his voice, they work well. I really like. I said this earlier, but I like to hear them together. Like when they're actually on a track together, rhyming together on the track. I love it. They have really good chemistry. So this probably the first instance of that, and it's an awesome thing to listen to.
Hey, have you ever seen Public Enemy live?
Yes.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I saw them live back in 1988 in the Run's House tour. I think it was 88 when they had the Run's House tour with Run DMC and Public Enemy and LL Cool J. No, not LL. Fresh Prince. Yeah, Fresh Prince. And I think it was just those three acts. Anyways, Public Enemy opened up the show, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they were the opening act back then. So, but I remember Chuck doing this song. His level of MCing has always been top notch. But I don't think he gets the kind of respect as a top notch MC that he deserves. So, but I think this song MPE is a good illustration of his dedication to b-boyism, yeah, for lack of a better term. So.
Yes, I agree. You're right. People really don't. When it comes to people talking about who's the greatest MC of all time, you don't ever hear Chuck D in those conversations, because people don't equate him with actual lyricism or technique or anything. They're just like, he's important, but you don't. He's not that quotable. A lot of people would say, I guess.
What? He's not quotable. What?
I'm saying people would say that. I don't think that's the case.
He's very quotable.
I think a lot of times when people have those, like top 5 conversations, which I hate having, I really hate having those conversations. But I think when people have them, they record, they'll make an excuse like he's not quotable, or he doesn't have the technique, or he's not really a lyricist, which is not true. But that's what people think about him, because I think when people listen to Public Enemy, they think more about the message more than the actual the flow or just the actual command of the microphone. People don't think about that, and it's a shame.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. Because yeah, he definitely is a top notch dope MC. So
yeah, he's actually. Like I said, I hate having the top 5 conversation, but if I and when I do have them, it's very fluid. Like I rarely give the same answers, but usually Chuck would be in that top 5 somewhere.
oh, absolutely, absolutely, and I totally agree with you on that note. All right, next up is the title track, "Yo, Bum Rush the Show." Great track. Prince always says that every album should have a great title track. This is proof of it. Yo, Bum Rush the Show. Bum Rush the Show. Yo, Bum Rush the Show. The production on this is once again airtight. I love what Terminator X did with it. I mean, it's a great title track. So there you go.
Okay. Remember when I said I have more to say about Flav?
Go ahead, man.
Here it goes. So you're right. This is actually a really good track. Like, there's a great guitar sample and a simple beat, and the story's fun, I guess. They're trying to get in the club and they're getting denied. So they have to bum rush the show. So it's simple, but it's cool, and it certainly works. The thing that I hate about this track is it's the only off-putting thing on this record, to be honest. Freaking Flavor Flav. His voice is annoying and it's weird. It's like slurring his words. He sounds like Daffy Duck, slobbering and spitting on the microphone. Why is he doing it? Like, why? What is the point of that? All he's doing is talking, and he's saying some really unnecessary stuff. Talking about Bum Rushing the Show, obviously, but I don't find it to be necessary. It's weird, and I really can't stand it. The track is good, but then Flav comes in and screws it up.
Okay, okay. And when you saw them live, did they do this track?
I don't recall. I don't think so.
Okay, well you need to hear it live, man, because they did this when I saw them back on the Run's House tour, man, and it got the crowd jumping. So.
Well, I really don't think they performed this one. I saw them live. In fact, that was a really great show. But one thing I didn't like about what they did is they did not do one whole track. Like they did parts of tracks. They segued into different tracks.
What?
Weird.
Really?
Like they would a lot of rappers do this. They'll do like part of a song and then go into another one. Like they won't do whole songs.
Nah, when I saw them, they did entire tracks. But then again, like I said, all they had was this album, so they only did.
You saw them in '87 or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw them in 2012, so a little different.
Yeah.
So that was my really, if we're talking about that show, that was the only disappointing thing about it. But it was really great. I mean, I was really upset that they did not do all of Welcome to the Terrordome, and they did not do all Bring the Noise, which was weird. But anyway, they did not perform this track. And I'm feeling that if they did this track, Flav would sound different if he went on it saying what he's saying. But on this track, on the record, why does he sound like Daffy Duck? There's only like a few instances of him sounding like this on any other track. So I'm just like, was this the thing that he was trying to do at first? He was trying to find his voice on a record? I don't really understand. He sounds dumb. Like, he totally ruins it.
Nah.
I skipped this track because of Flav. I'll listen to like the first part of it. And when Flav starts talking to her, like, okay, time to go to the next one.
But I disagree. I like this song, so.
You like Flav on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm trying to put the spot.
Man, leave Flav alone, man. Leave him alone. Yeah. He's a hip hop icon, man. What you talking about?
It's horrible. Like, why
Stop.
can't he just talk the way he normally talks? Why do you do that?
Yeah. Maybe the producer said, "Hey, this works. Let's go with this one." Okay.
They didn't get rid of it. Obviously, it's not
Exactly.
good.
Exactly. So the Bomb Squad, they know what they're doing, so I trust them on this.
Well, in this case, they've made a track that I can do without. So sorry.
All right, man. All right. Next up, we have Raise the Roof. Raise the Roof. Raise the Roof. Of all the tracks on the record, man, this is the one that, like I said, Moves Away a Ton, Raise the Roof, those are tracks I can kind of live without. I mean, not saying it's a bad track, but it just didn't move me. So there you go.
So where the last track was a skipper to me, and not to you, this one is not to me, and this is to you. I like it. It is a kind of a rock tinged banger, a party style track.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it's about. He's not talking about anything particular, just kind of making you move, you know. I guess it's one of those party, move the crowd type tracks. Um, the samples and scratches are the highlight, and it samples Suicidal Tendencies, the punk band. So I think that's cool. Um, and there's like faint piano tones in the chorus and the last verse, and I think that really works. Uh, I like it. This is a track that I do like compared to the last one.
Do you think, bro? Do you think? All right. And next up is Mega Blast. I love Mega Blast. That it has an iconic hook. Oh please, oh please, oh please. Just give me just one more hit. It's an anti-crack song, so it has a great message behind it. I just like this song. I mean, it just gets me. I mean, like I said, it has a strong anti-drug, anti-crack message, and I love the hook. So I love me some Mega Blast.
Yeah, Mega Blast is one of the better tracks. It's minimalistic and it's basically all beats, but you got Flav and Chuck rhyming together like at the same time.
Yes.
Uh,
Flav's voice is fine. This record,
Flav
man.
is fine. His voice is good. Like this track works because, like I said, when they're on the track together, rhyming together, I love it. There are a lot of examples of them doing this together, and they're all good. Like my favorite that I can think of is uh, "Party for Your Right to Fight." Uh, tracks like that where they're actually on the microphone rhyming together,
Mm-hmm.
they sound like they're made to be together. I love that. So this is one of those, and the message is wonderful. The crack fiends and the drug dealers getting high, doing what they can for just for drugs. And I love it. It's a cautionary tale, and they give it with real skill and chemistry. And yeah, the chorus, oh please, oh please, oh please, just give me just one more hit. Is the chorus, and it's infinitely catchy. And Ice Cube co-op in the track, the chorus on his track, Who Got the Camera, on the album The Predator.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Who got the camera? Yes.
So anyway, this is a classic track. I love it.
Right on. I agree. All right, and finally, Terminator X speaks with his hands. This is the Terminator X highlight. And I think on most of their records, when Terminator X was still, their DJ, he would have a track on each record. So this is just a DJ track, and nothing wrong with it. It's great. I love Mr. I love Terminator X. So there you go.
It's an outro basically, and it's a DJ showcase, and it recaps some of the album's best moments. I think it's a good way to end the album. This is usually they don't end their albums like this. Usually they have the Terminator X track somewhere in the middle or somewhere near the end.
Yeah.
But this one actually ends the album, and it's cool. I think it really kind of wraps it up in a nice way.
Well, speaking of wrapping it up, there you have it. Yo Bum Rush the Show, 12 tracks. So once again, it's our introduction to Public Enemy, their first album. It is a hip hop classic, and like I said, the album did go gold, so it did sell over 500,000 copies domestically. So it definitely was a hit record. It wasn't, it might feel obscure, but it wasn't obscure. A lot of folks got onto this, It took a long time to go gold, though. It like in the early '90s, it finally went gold. So I think as people start listening, more of the other stuff, they would go back and listen to Yo Bum Ruster show, kind of like you did. But at the same time, it's a great debut album to for one of the greatest hip hop bands ever. Obviously, we both agree they're number two as far as when it comes to hip hop crews. Um, I really can't say enough about this record. Um, it's a great record. Like I said, there are only two tracks that I kind of raised my eyebrows out. That's "Raise the Roof" and "My Uzi Weighs a Ton." Rest of the tracks are great. I highly recommend it to anyone out there. And I always say, if an alien landed on the planet and said, "Hey, tell me something about this Public Enemy record. What do I need to listen to?" Of course, I first and foremost, I say you gotta hear Public Enemy number one. I think it's impossible to not become a fan of Public Enemy after hearing Public Enemy number one. And if you don't like them after listening to that track, then you have no business listening to hip hop whatsoever. And the same thing goes for this record. If you don't like Public Enemy after listening to Yo Bum Rush the Show, then you have no business listening to hip hop whatsoever. So it definitely, if I was rated on a scale of 1 to 10, it gets a 9.95. It is a magnificent record.
Okay, yes. Um, so my thoughts about this record are, this is the first in a long line of classics. Like Public Enemy I'm surprised they're not like seen as the best rap group ever. I mean, Wu-Tang, they got it. I'm sorry, but I'm surprised more people don't give them the respect they really deserve because can you name other groups that have had that many classics in a row? Like your first album is a classic, second is a classic, third is a classic, fourth is a classic. Like there really aren't many that you can say that about. Even Wu-Tang don't have the discography that Public Enemy has. Like I love Wu-Tang, I love all their albums, but if we're talking about albums, Public Enemy has it. Like really. Um, so this is just the beginning of that. Like it's a great debut, and it just shows you like the powerful force that will become like one of the best. And Chuck, he establishes himself as like one of the hardest, most profound, and most skillful MCs. He's got a voice that you just can't help but listen to. Like the production from the Bomb Squad is stunning, and it's just amazing how tight and clean the beats are, and just the way that the sampling is done on here. It's not nearly as much as what they would do later on, but it's definitely there, and they did more than a lot of people were doing at that time. They were doing it in a better, more skillful way than other people were doing. Like I said earlier, when they're using samples, the samples are not immediately recognizable. They didn't take a hit song and start rhyming over it. They turned it into something that was original and different and to this day a lot of people don't know. Oh, that was a sample? I didn't see that. I didn't realize that. Because just the technique that it took to make that light years ahead of what other people were doing at the time. And even today actually. So this is just the beginning of it. And later on in their career it just gets crazier and more mind blowing in the future. So this is an amazing record. In my opinion, it pales in comparison to the three albums that can't come after it. And that is saying a lot. Like, crap. You gave it a 9.95. I'm going to give it a 9.98. This is just the beginning of it. Because I'm going to go ahead and give, I'm sure we're going to review the rest later as we go on. Here's some insight into what I'm going to say later on. Albums 2, 3, and 4 get 11s from me, okay? So right here, you get a 9.98. This is an amazing record. Listen to it now.
Yeah, you always gotta try to top me, no matter what.
It's not about topping you. It's about showing my enthusiasm. And I'm absolutely enthusiastic about this group and getting people to listen to this stuff because I feel like I once read something sort of recently where people were saying, oh yeah, so Chuck Chuck D and Public Enemy fell off on Music in Our Message because that was a sound that what they were doing was different and not what was popular because of the rise of like G-Funk and all that. And I don't think that's true. I don't really know what led to them not being as popular. But I feel like things changing with the times, people have kind of a selective memory. They want to go back and say, oh, yeah, they're all right. No, they weren't just all right. This is like, these are masters right here. I don't care what anybody says about like Jay-Z or like Tupac or Biggie. Like, these are guys that I like. I do not like Jay-Z, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't like Jay-Z. But like Tupac and Biggie, yes, they were amazing. But let's not talk about them without talking about Chuck D. This guy came first, and this group came first, and everything that they put out is better than their output. I'm sorry. They don't get their due. So I'm absolutely excited about them all the time, and I want to talk about them. So I'm not trying to top you or anybody, but hey, everybody, I love them, and you should too.
They're very passionate. But I think the reason why Public Enemy doesn't get the recognition that you think they deserve is quite simple. Nobody likes to hear a sermon, and their message is so heavy, so heavy-handed. I mean, just the persona of the group is off-putting to a lot of people, black and white. Because really, when it comes to hip hop, folks who listen to hip hop, they don't have a good time. They want a beat they can dance to, something you nod their head to. They can, let the window down and turn the bass up or whatever. They don't, you can't really, you're not gonna hear people driving down the street bumping, a Public Enemy song. You're rarely gonna hear that, if ever. You know what I mean? Because once again, nobody likes to hear a sermon, and like I said, their message once again is just so heavy-handed. There's no pretense about what they're about and what they're trying to say. It's like, damn it. You gotta listen. You gotta wake the fuck up. And to us, because we embrace it, that's fine. But to the layperson, nah. I mean, to the most of the general public or whatever, they ain't into that. And the thing is, because if you think about it, man, you got the S1Ws. You got the Black Power. You got the B-boy and the crosshairs. I mean, you got Professor Griff. I mean, you got. Yeah, I mean, so everything about it is not very inviting to anyone to listen to, be it white or black or whatever nationality you want to talk about. Public Enemy does not feel accessible. Even the name of the group, Public Enemy, I mean, is not very inviting. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of difficult for someone who's trying to get into hip hop. If you laid out 20 albums, on a table in front of a person who's trying to get into hip hop, and just by looking at the album cover or whatever, and say, hey, you can only pick 5. I don't think they will pick Public Enemy. I mean, because like I said, it's something about them that does not feel welcoming to the average listener. You have to really want to see. You got to seek them out. Like I said, my introduction to them. It was based on the fact that I just came out of basic training in the Air Force, whatever. I was starving for music. I was starving for anything. And like I said, I bought Yo Bummer's show based on the album cover because it looked dope to me. I mean, it made me wonder, what's this about? Let me give this a listen. But that's me. You know what I mean? So, but I don't, because I'm just a deeper brother than that. Now I say it, yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm a much deeper person than the average person. I mean,
wow, how cocky.
Yeah, very cocky, but I mean it. And yeah, I mean it, and I said it, and you don't like it, fuck you. Anybody ever listening, kiss my ass. But yeah, I am deeper than the average person. I mean, and you are too, because you see things, you have an insight. And there are a lot of folks like us out there in the world, but there's not enough of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if there were more people like us, then the whole landscape of hip hop, there wouldn't be no mumble rap. It wouldn't be, the things that are out there now. That wouldn't be happening. I mean, because right now hip hop is not for us. I mean, it's not, we are the outliers when it comes to hip hop now. Because now all folks care about is dancing, having a brand, having getting likes, on social media. It's not about the quality of the music and about the message in the music. It's really not about lyricism anymore. But that's something that Public Enemy, really was built on. Was built on the message and lyricism and b-boyism and hip hop at its finest. You know what I mean? So yeah, so they're never going to get their due. So I think you can just that ship has sailed a long time ago. They got their due back when they were hot, when they were the biggest band in the world. They had their moment. They had their moment for about maybe 2-3 years where they were the epitome of hip hop. But once that kind of passed over and you got into NWA and all that kind of stuff, then they got kind of left by the wayside or whatever, man. They're never coming back. But folks like us who know hip hop, who were there when it happened, you know what I mean? We know what's up. You know what I mean? So it'll be our dirty little secret. You know what I mean?
You're right, yeah. I mean, I totally get it. Like, so, if you want to talk about, before I got into Public Enemy, when I had actually been seeing the videos on TV without actually listening to it, I was afraid of them, because I didn't know what they were about. The whole B-Boy and the Crosshairs thing, and the S1Ws with the guns, that was scary to me. I didn't know what they were talking about, because I was a child, but I can see how that's off-putting to anybody, man, woman, child, white, black, anybody. It's frightening when you listen to them and you see what they're talking about, and it's also still very frightening, but at the same time, I feel like where we are now, they should be getting their due because we're in this woke era. Everybody wants to call themselves woke, which I think is fake. I think nobody is woke if you have to say it. This is a completely different tirade that I'm not going to get into fully. But I think, we're in this era of people want to call themselves woke. So, since you're now woke, then let's listen to Public Enemy. Who were woke when it was not cool to be woke. This is what people should be listening to now. This is what people should listen to, because what they're talking about right now is relevant. What they said back then is relevant today. So, all these concepts and woke people out there, who just want to throw that word out like it's the cool new status. This is what you should listen to, but most people don't even want to listen to it. You're right, we're in the era of, I don't like to diss what people are listening to now, because, music that's been made today is not for me, it's not for you. It's for certain people, and it's not about the lyrics, it's not about a message, it's about a feeling. And I'm all for music that makes you feel good, but, we got too many people trying to feel good and not trying to actually pay attention to an actual message. And so, like I said, with all the people out there who want to throw out the woke term and want to say that they're above something, and really all the never Trumpers, all the people who are against Trump, it's cool to be against Trump, and it's cool to be against the GOP and the alt-right. Well, pick up a Public Enemy album, please. These are the people who, as much as I love Wu-Tang, not all of their content is for the children, as they like to say. But for the future, for an intellectual purpose and for an emotional purpose, Public Enemy is for the children. So let's listen to them.
Well said. Well said. I agree wholeheartedly. And like I said, it's just for us. It's not for anybody else. So if you're listening out there, what do you think? Tell us what you think about Public Enemy. Are we right? I mean, what was your introduction to Public Enemy? I mean, what do you feel about this group? Have you heard Yo Bum Rush the Show? And if you have, what are your thoughts? Are we off point here, or are we right on point when it comes to our assessment of this record? I want to know. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Email whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. Please subscribe. Get that notification. Ring that bell so whenever I drop new content, I know it's been a minute, but whenever I do drop new content, you need to know about it. You need to like it. You need to pump me up. You need to get it out there. Share with your friends out there on social media. I want to get as many subscribers as I can. Let's keep it going. My listeners out there, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. and not judging me and all that good stuff. Because you know I don't give a fuck if you do or not. But thanks for hanging with me because I got feels for y'all. Okay, I got feels for you. So that being said, tell me what you think. Public Enemy. Is it are they slept on? Are they actually the number two group in the history of hip hop, or are they number one? Are they better than Wu Tang? Who knows? What do you feel about it? So that being said, hit me up and let me know what you think because damn it, you just heard what Alonzo thinks. Bye.